guys, welcome back to Brushed Up Minis and my continued project of painting up a full set of figures for Star Wars Rebellion. Currently we're working on the Imperials and we're down to the last stage. We're going to do the spot detail and well, I hope you enjoy. So as you can see, I've got one of each model here and I'm going to tackle each model individually. We're going to fill in the engine pods with a bit of white, make them mystified, make them look like an energy source. We're going to put some darker edges along these and spot in some light details. So Star Destroyer is famous for all the twinkling lights, especially along the side of the miniatures and along the side of the lower parts of the bridge. So here we go. So we've got White by Vallejo, paint 951, this is a Flames of War kit. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this paint down as well. So when we apply it, it's not fully opaque. I want it to appear almost like a mist towards the end, the outer edges of the thruster. So let's get some water on. Yes, a 2-to-1 mix. That's probably what I'll be going for. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. So I'm just going to put it inside the boosters. So that solid white will be the basis for the glow later on, but you can see around the outer edges it sort of goes a bit misty white. That's what we want as well. Imperial engines are a sort of a blue, same sort of blue that comes off the sun. There you go. Oh, and we've got our spot ones in between as well, just the smaller thruster engines. Just put a blob of paint on each of these to give us our circle. We'll just spot onto the model. Nice. There we go. While that's drying, we're going to add in some darker detail on the vertical surfaces of the model. So to do these, I'm going to use black model. Heavy pigment, but very, very liquidy as airbrush paints are. I'm going to just draw it along the surface of the model. Downward sides. See, it's not fully opaque, so the paint shows through from below. What it allows us to do is just separation between different deck layers. Almost like black lining, except it's an entire surface is being done to. Okay, cool. Dark lined along the edges, so this is just creating layers of separation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an electric blue, this is Game Colour from Vallejo, and this chap, start off with the mini thrusters. I mean, don't be afraid if it doesn't land perfectly. One, you can wipe it off, and two, variation gives the model a more natural look, I guess. So this, I'm going to run the brush around the outside quickly, like that. Try not to get too much paint on, but just enough. Give the impression of the colour. And once I've done that, I'm going to take a bit more paint, mix it in, and I'm just going to fill the engines with it. And just let that, because it's so watery, it'll dry nicely. I mean, already that's looking quite lovely, quite standoutish. The paint's dried inside the engine stars, so I'm just going to put the tiniest spot fact, I can just take it straight. The extreme fine detail brushing it. Just going to put a spot inside the centre of each of these engines. Perfect. That's what we want. See it inside. Okay, so that's the engine thrusters finished. The last bit of spot detail I'm going to do for these is the lights that you see dotted along the side of the Star Destroyer. It's going to be quite subtle. Don't want to make it too heavy, so let's get on with it. What I'm going to do is use deep yellow and white, and I'm going to mix them a bit. I want the lights to be very light yellow. White paint also adds a great viscosity to the paint. Yellow, if it goes onto a dark surface, particularly illuminating. And what I mean is it will go onto the dark surface and it'll dull, whereas if we're mixed white with it, make it stand out a little bit. When doing these little lights, I find that the best thing to do is to, if you're doing them in rows along the way, make sure they're in a straight line. Having them dotted up and down in varying lines might be more realistic, I don't know, but it just doesn't quite look as good in the model. So let's go. There. I'm liking that. Star Destroyer complete. And now the Death Star. I had a lot of thought. I was going to put little lights along the band in the middle, but I just don't want to destroy that gradated look that's come from the airbrush and the dry brushing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm only going to work on the base. I'm going to spray some white on as stars. I'm going to bring them here and I'm just going to spray some white on to create star fields. And that's the Death Star done. So there he is. Just white speckled base. That's enough. Now our shuttle is very simple. We've done our engine flare at the back. What we're just going to do is give it a red cockpit. I've looked at the actual images of these, well, not shuttles, right, the transports, and they don't have red canopy windows for the crew, but to match it up with the Yata, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a red. I'll just let that dry. I'm just going to pull the red on top of that and it will get a very strong red finish. So I'm just going to spot this on Yata. Yeah, there's a nice red rich finish. Simple but very effective. Shuttle done. Okay, we are on to the Super Star Destroyer. I'm just going to separate this middle section out from these grey panels on the outside, and to do that we're going to use a Drakenhof Nightshade. Is take a bit of a bigger brush, go to a large area, and I'm just going to pull into this area here. Quite liberal with the the amount of wash that I use. All the way down to the center, and gravity can do some work. Fantastic. Already you just see that separation just adds a whole new dimension to the model. Once it dries, and the glossiness disappears from it. So very smart. Last bit of detailing. Just going to add some lights. Using a standard size brush for this. I'm taking the paint direct because I want as much pigment as possible. Just going to dots. There's lots of little dots already there, so it's them. Quite good darkness there. Shadow. Not too shabby. Okay, for our Stormtrooper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water this paint down, and I'm just going to spot raised details. I'm guessing it's about a 3:1 ratio of paint, and I'm just going to actually just get rid of some of the paint so it's not quite as heavy. I'm just going to spot it on what pulls, follows the natural surface of the shoulder or the head and shoulders thickly, so it's actually pulling out, getting a contour created or a gradient created, which is what we want. And we want to draw the paint up it so it pulls at the top and then runs back down. And do the top of the helmet again, coat. That's nice. Now what I'm going to do is just go around the model picking out raised areas and using the same mix of paint. Do his breastplate, the outer edge of it. Again, this is just adding contrast and definition. Looks nice to me. Not bad at all. You can see the shadows still keeping in the cracks, which is given that cloth in between the armor sections that the Stormtroopers have. Here we have our Scout Walker. Fine looking model. We're not really going to do that much to him. We're just going to colour in the gun barrels, maybe put a couple of stains on him. Just a standard brush with the black paint. I'm going to try and draw the barrels separately with a little bit of separation in me. So 2 lines and a bit of separation, that's nice. There we go. What I'm going to do now is just put little ink stains running off of corners and bits of kit, and it just makes it look like wear. For this we're going to use Agrax Earthshade, the Games Workshop brown wash, and I'm going to put it on a few bits of the models, but I'm also going to put it across the viewing slits, or whatever you call them. I'm going to put it around that just to make them stand out a little bit more. Just a blob of ink. There we go. Perfect. Now it just makes those little viewing ports stand off the model a bit more. And then also what I'm going to do is, can I touch my base now? Yep, he's dried. I'm just going to run downward lines off of certain bits of equipment. It just looks like weather staining. Perfect. And there he is there. Nice little AT-ST. AT-AT. It's going to be cool. For this, gun's black, visor slit across the front, and then some more of some staining going down the sides of the vehicle. So I'm going to put his red visor on. I like putting on a fair bit of paint so it naturally pulls itself and you get a nice effect. We want to cover this entire surface. So we'll get it on, start with, get to the corners. And that's going to give us that vibrant red look. Just that one stripe of red just brings the model to life. Love it. We can do the guns now. And I'm just going to paint the guns black. I'm not sure if they actually are black, but I just want to create, again, separation. I'm just going to run my finger along the top and just remove paint from the very tips of them. And that acts as a little pseudo highlight. Now, all we need, again, is our brown staining. Get our earth shade out. We can just take directly from the pot, and then just now with the ATA it's much easier because it has these bits sticking out, so we can just stick it from there, running down away from it. Same with this one. That's our ATA done. So that's him. That's us done. Finished our Imperials. We're going to just give them a matte varnish sprayed across them. Just protect them when they're in transit or on the gaming top. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found these videos useful. Painting Imperial, Star Wars Rebellion. On to the Rebels.